Okay, not a first-year principal, but first year at Mission Park. I'm Jennifer Zanzot, so good evening, Dr. Lusa, school board members, audience, and most particularly those of you who have connections to Mission Park School. But everybody else will enjoy, I'm sure. Okay, so we'll start with the school demographics. We have 727 students this year. 64% are Hispanic, 13% are English learners, and 49% low SES. We do have one foster child, but I didn't want to put that fraction of a percentage. These are the percentages that are important to the state of California. They're the ones that are reported when you're testing. But they don't tell you enough about the school, as most people know. We have many other students with needs. We have students who come from adopted families, divorced families, families that have experienced recent deaths. We have students who struggle academically, but we get no extra funding for them. We have students who struggle with major behavioral and emotional needs, and we are dealing with them on a regular basis, and that impacts the ability to achieve in all of these demographics and any demographic at your school. But the other part of the story is the positive part. We have parents. We have a lot of parents at Mission Park School and staff who work incredibly hard. They are there all the time. They have alarm codes. They have access. I'm sure other schools wish they had as much access, but Terry wishes they wouldn't set off the alarm. But if you could just see a room parent meeting at Mission Park School, I took pictures, but it was after I'd already sent in the slide presentation. It'll be on some future presentation where you have the entire cafeteria full of 23 teachers, because some were getting their air books that day, sitting next to 1 to 2 parents from every classroom who are committing to work through the year with them as a team and make sure those kids get a good education. We have academic achievement as our first goal, just like all the other schools, I hope. Math and English language arts, we are definitely trying to teach the 21st century learning through the Common Core state standards. In science, however, we do have a lab that students get instruction once a week in grades K through 6th grade. They, PTA funds most of that, but we do use some of our LCFF funds to fund 1 hour of that science aid. We have visual and performing arts. Again, because of our PTA, we have an in-depth art instructor. She comes once a week and does Art Fridays with the kids, and it is phenomenal the way they study Matisse and Monet and create true works of art that are on display in the spring. So feel free to come to our open house once I tell you when that is. We don't know yet, it won't be tonight, but I'll tell you in the spring. We have a glee club. Mr. Rossi also works at our school and does a glee club, and we have a huge talent show for the whole school in the spring. And we've exceeded our multi-purpose room capacity, so we are always looking for a new place to hold it. For physical education, those are just PowerPoints. We have much more besides just run and 5th grade. PFT stands for physical fitness. In my acronym, it's training, not just the testing, because our 5th grade teachers truly do start from the beginning with sit-ups, with push-ups, with going out there for the run. And I'm going to admit that at more than at any other school I've ever worked at, you see classes outside on the yard multiple times during the day, spread out 2 classes together doing calisthenics and exercises and PE. It is a fully utilized playground, and they schedule it regularly. Technology, we are fortunate because we have iPads school-wide because of PTA purchases, but we also have the Chromebooks. And we really, really hope the thieves don't figure out where we're keeping all of that. We do also have some upper grade classes that have started bring your own device programs, and they're working on that, where the kids can, in fact, bring in iPods or phones to use technology in there. Okay, so then, intervention. Of course, the minute I sat down tonight, I realized I somehow left 3rd grade off. We do, in fact, help 3rd grade. So I'll just make sure you see that we have intervention for K and first that is similar to what is provided everywhere in the district, in independent learning folders for aides and kindergarten teachers to work with students. Not every school has kindergarten teachers that do it. We have phenomenal kindergarten teachers that do that. In 1st and 2nd grade, we have phonics for reading. In 3rd grade and 4th, 5th, and 6th, we have a System 44/Read 180 program. And then for our English learners, they obviously qualify for all of the above interventions, but they will also be getting Imagine Learning provided by the aides and the kindergarten teachers. We have a little rotation block after lunch. It is unlike other sites because we don't have as many English learners in one grade. So every teacher is not stopping to teach ELD. We do it on a pull-out basis. And then we're very proud that we, just by transfers and luck and good motivated teachers, we have 4 gladiators. I think we may actually have 10 math grant participants. After I sent this out to the teachers, they corrected me. And we have 1 Rally Lead teacher at our school. And all of that stuff spreads. Even if the teachers didn't go to the math grant, the ones who went are convincing everyone else that they should be using the Engage New York, the Common Core, and they are doing it. Goal 2, Culture and Climate, just a few of the things we have. We have a very strong PBIS leadership team. They tell me what to do, I just try and support. There are monthly themes and incentives. We have, similar to other sites, the 3 R's, responsible, respectful, and ready to learn. But when they start planning the incentives, the no tardy parties are run primarily by the teachers. If I'm on campus that day, I'm an extra person helping to supervise, but they make it happen. They are ready to start next month on, well, I think it's mid-October, we'll be doing the stay all day and play because we're noticing how many people pick up kids early. So the kids will be told, and the parents already got the heads up to start trying to schedule appointments late in the day, and then the kids who stay all day will get an incentive. And we reward with those Catch 'em Being Good coupons. In our school, that's Mustang Moolala. And PTA helps a lot with the prizes for that. We try to build inclusive relationships. We have Sticks and Stones 2 days a week. We have the Mission Park Athletic Club just got for us 4 soccer goals. So we have 2 fields of soccer that are the hot ticket on the yard right now. They did a jogathon last year, and they continue to come and be an extra adult on campus during the lunch hour. They're trying to send out invitations now and recruit more so that they can work with the Playworks people. Playworks is taking off. We were lucky we opened with 1 HASA running the Playworks program. You all read the newspaper articles. You should have it at your school, but it really is working at our school. And many of the classes have buddy classes, and we also have a Lyceum connection with square foot gardening. That's not on there, but just to remind you, we reach out to other members of the community as well, and that class will start next Tuesday. Apparently last year they only had 1 student for a while, but they have a lot of CSUMB volunteers who come into work and try and help get our garden going, and some parents from the school also help the classes have individual planter boxes. Student leadership, we are in the middle of our first round of conflict manager / peer mediators. We're trying to blend what was already working at Mission Park with a little bit more of the restorative justice language. So they've been being trained by Pascual Moreno from Restorative Justice, and they have only 3 more training days before we'll let the first group hit the yards, and then I'll train the second group because they're all dying to do it. The kids are phenomenal. And we want to start a student council in the spring and have a teacher who's already volunteered to run that. And then for parent and community involvement, I've kind of been stressing that. We do have a lot in the way of parent bodies on campus, volunteers you see all the time, and also financial support. Already mentioned the art teacher and the science lab aide. They've purchased a lot of technology, but it really is also in the people. I've learned as I'm getting around the campus and introducing myself to people, I thought I knew names when I knew 900 students at Cammon, but at Mission Park you need to know 700 students plus 1,400 adults. So I'm working on it. And they're there. We have gate security. I know you're wondering what that is, but we have the mom who just stepped up and said we need to keep the parents out of the hallways in the morning, and we need to teach the kids what to do, and she's out there every day at opening and closing to do it. We have parents who volunteer to just supervise that crosswalk. I try not to watch because we know we're supposed to be careful about safety, but most of the parents at the school step up and take on a role when they see something that needs to be done. And then I did want to advertise our Carnival and Silent Auction is the hugest, biggest fundraiser we have at the school. I know Mr. Stratton is already planning his donations. And anybody who's going to the Festival Familiar, please come over for our barbecue after. It's the same day, October 11th, but we have a huge Carnival and Silent Auction that really helps fund all those positions. And then, just because previously Janet has asked that we include budget information, of course it was easy for me because I have the smallest budget. At Mission Park School, we only have 2 funding sources. We have the LCFF funding source, which is $79,742. Primarily, we spend it on instructional aids, instructional materials, and collaboration release time. We have unrestricted money, $31,800. Again, it's the paper. It's the paper. Instructional materials, collaboration release time, and copier agreements. I didn't put that as a major thing, but we do pay for that. And it's very important that you see that PTA supports us with pretty much 1/3 of our budget. $40,000 to $70,000 annually gets spent on things such as science aid, instructional materials, technology, field trips, etc. And then those are our students being respectful, responsible, and ready to learn. Questions?
I don't have any questions, but thank you for your enthusiasm and energy. We're all blown away by it. And please thank all the teachers and all the parents, all their participation. 1/3 of your budget is pretty amazing. Thank you for including your budget, because that really does help. I really like the format. I don't know about the rest of the board, but the format is crystal clear of what you're doing and how you're doing it. So thank you very much.
Any comment? Do you want to make a comment? I just wanted to thank Ms. Zanzot for doing a presentation and talking about the school and communicating a lot of what's there. Recently there's been a lot more exposure about some of the parents. The man right here with a camera, he always volunteers to do the DJing in many of these different events. The impact.
I had that written down by Carnival and then forgot to say it.
No.
They will be our DJs again, I know.
Yeah, yeah. So there's different parents doing a lot of different things, and it's kind of telling. I mean, I think humor tells a lot. When we talked about having the smallest budget, people laughed like they totally knew, and without really saying it, June 9th, it was for a lot of parents at Mission Park, it was a very difficult meeting to hear how our school and our community was described. And really to talk about all the problems that we have or different things about our culture, and not really have anyone to stand up for us to really say and set the story straight when they know Mission Park and they know we're not Carmel, and those $40,000 to $70,000 are kids working hard selling cookie dough, selling tickets. We're not a lot of rich parents, contrary to what a lot of people think. We're not Carmel. We're very much Salinas. We're very much proud of it. We're very much proud to be part of this community. And our kids, many of our kids, are getting help and volunteer, and a lot more volunteering, and that's a great thing. But that budget and some of those extra things that other schools get really shouldn't continue, where certain schools like Mission Park, Laurelwood, other schools that are not getting it, that really should. So there should be some equity, and there should be a standard on how resources are allocated. And it shouldn't just be a joke that one school gets a lot less and others don't. So, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.